Hey guys, it's Another Finger here on YouTube. So as recently, the Taiwanese government just announced that they would limit the use of the TikTok app in Taiwan, and even talking about the possibility of banning TikTok altogether, even for personal use. Today I would like to make a short video covering this topic and share with you how the general Taiwanese public is reacting to this. And on top of that, I would also like to discuss this other issue in Taiwan concerning TikTok, which is its influences on the Taiwanese kids' political views. So because Taiwan, under the rule of the Republic of China, is separated from the People's Republic of China, which is currently ruled by the CCP for such a long time, a lot of us from the younger generation in Taiwan have developed this identity of being a Taiwanese. And because of this, the younger generation in Taiwan are generally speaking more pro-independence, and also a lot of people are quite hostile towards the CCP because of their invasion threat. So it is easy to assume that the younger a Taiwanese person is, the easier it would be for them to develop this connection to their Taiwanese identity, and the more distant they would feel from their Chinese roots. However, in the recent 2 years, a lot of people are starting to notice a reality that is the complete opposite of this. So nowadays, because a lot of Taiwanese kids are on TikTok just like the rest of the world, a lot of the adults are surprised at the behaviors of the kids around them that shows a strong influence they are getting from the mainland China or the PRC through TikTok. So for example, a lot of these kids would start using simplified Chinese, which is used in the PRC, instead of traditional Chinese, which is used in Taiwan. And also a lot of them would start using word choices that are from the PRC again instead of Taiwan. But it's not just that. Even, for example, a lot of kids would start singing the national anthem of the PRC instead of the ROC. So there was this post on the internet from a university student. He noticed that his own younger brother was writing the national anthem of the PRC in his homework, and he was really shocked about this. And under these type of posts, you would see several comments from the teachers teaching younger kids confirming this phenomenon, and some would even say that a lot of the students they teach nowadays consider themselves Chinese instead of Taiwanese. And because of this, people are concerning that the invasion of Taiwan has perhaps already begun, just not in the form of a military invasion, but instead the PRC is infiltrating the younger minds in Taiwan, so that maybe in the future it would be easier for them to take control over Taiwan. So basically, a peaceful unification in the future can be possible because of TikTok. So now when it comes to the cultural side of influences, for example, the kids using simplified Chinese and some of them using word choices from the PRC, the reaction to this is actually quite mixed, because definitely a group of people are quite upset about this, but also there's a group of people thinking that it's fine, because for them it is inevitable that cultures with stronger influences will eventually replace those that are more in minority. So for them, kids using simplified Chinese and watching Chinese media is no different from Taiwanese people, say, who are watching the US drama and learning English and watching anime and learning Japanese. However, when it comes to the influences TikTok has on the political views of the kids, almost most of the reaction I've seen so far unanimously think it is quite concerning. And a lot of people around my generation also find it quite infuriating, because essentially the freedom and democracy we are currently enjoying in Taiwan is built on a lot of sacrifices made by the generation before us. And even for a lot of us, this is our grandparents, whom we have or had direct contact to, and even have heard several stories from their past. And these kids, without any of this background knowledge, are acting like they can easily throw away this privilege that they already have since they were born. So of course it is hard to assert the amount of these type of kids, like the ratio between the kids who genuinely think that they're already the PRC citizens and those who still have this Taiwanese identity. But from what I've seen from the discussion thread on the internet, it does seem like it is not just one or two very extreme cases. The amount of this type of kids is actually to a point where it really deserves some attention. So now people are basically starting to notice this generation gap of the political view between the young generation and the even younger generation in Taiwan, which is very likely caused by TikTok. So then, because the information safety issues of TikTok and whether or not it should be banned is again being discussed in the US, about a week ago, the Taiwanese government also announced that they would now limit the use of the TikTok app in several areas. And even they're discussing the possibility of banning the app, even for personal use, just like in India. So regarding this, the reaction is also quite mixed. But although there is a group of people who are in support of this, the majority seems to think that if Taiwan really bans TikTok, then that would make Taiwan no difference from China when it comes to censoring medias and restricting the freedom of access on the internet. Yeah, so that was basically what has been happening. So now I would also like to talk about some of my thoughts. So my initial reaction was basically the same as everybody else, that if Taiwan really bans TikTok, then it would kind of make us no difference from China, say, banning Google and YouTube. Especially because a lot of us are having doubt that our government is doing this less for information safety reasons, but more for their political reasons. But then I came across this video, and after watching it, I became a little bit scared, and I kind of changed my mind a little bit. Because if really all of the allegations are real, if the Chinese government really is actively using TikTok as a tool to kind of gain control over the world, then we definitely are already seeing its effect in Taiwan right now, like on these younger generation. But then again, I guess so far there really isn't any solid proof that this really is what the Chinese government is trying to do with TikTok. So I think unless there really is a proof that the Chinese government really is trying to unify Taiwan peacefully with TikTok, then I guess if that is the case, I would probably also be on the side that support the ban of TikTok. But as for now, I think my opinion remains the same. I feel like if Taiwan bans TikTok today, then we are no longer in this position where we can criticize China on them banning things and censoring stuff on the internet. So I would say banning TikTok might not be the best solution, but instead I feel like it is really important to make sure that TikTok and the Chinese media is not the only source these kids are getting their information from. So I still want to respect their freedom to access the information coming from the PRC, which might make them more pro-unification. But at the same time, I think it is also important that they kind of see things from both sides. Like they should also have access to information coming from people who are reluctant to unification and maybe are more pro-independence, and they should probably hear both sides of the stories, and then they can make their own decision. And if after fully understanding the both sides, they still grow up and decide that they want to unify with China, then I guess that is their choice. But I just really don't want them to do it just because they've always seen things from the PRC's perspective and that they never get a chance to understand the ROC's perspective and the Taiwanese perspective. Okay, so that's basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, so please leave a like if you did, and please subscribe for more videos like this. I'm actually thinking about making this into a series, like me reporting on things currently happening in Taiwan and China, and also the cross-strait relations, kind of from a Taiwanese perspective, and also basically me translating what the general Taiwanese public and Chinese public are talking about and discussing on the internet in Mandarin Chinese regarding these news. So if you also think that this is a series you would like to see, then please definitely leave a like and comment to let me know. And please also consider supporting me on Patreon if you want more contents from me that are only exclusive for the members there. You can even have Mandarin Chinese lessons with me face-to-face in real time on Patreon. So if you're interested, please definitely check it out. I will leave a link in the description. It will be greatly appreciated. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.